Hi, Simone.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for joining me today. It's your first interim report as President and CEO of Axfood. So with that, obviously, I would like to hear your thoughts and your key takeaways from the quarterly development in the third quarter 2024 for Axfood.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here, 2 months in my new position. And I would summarize the quarter that we have reinforced our positions with growth in all our brands, both Willys, Hemköp and also Snabbgross, which is a really good sign since we have also very high comparison figures from last year. So last year we grew more than double the pace of the market, and this year we grow in line with the market, which is a really good receipt that we are doing a job that our customers likes.
And then, of course, also in addition to the sort of operational development in the retail chains, a lot of sort of progress in investments for the future with logistics, IT and these things. Can you give us a little bit more detail on that?
Yes, as you say, we are doing investments for the future, and in Dagab we both have a good progress in our new site in Backa in Gothenburg where we have implemented automation, and also in Landskrona, our new fruit and vegetable site, and also in Båstad we're doing progress. We have now finished the ramp up, so we have all stores getting their deliveries from Båstad, and we also started the test with the e-commerce, and also now we are in a new phase where we can start to balance and optimize the flows, so we will receive all the efficiency that we have planned for.
So both sort of operational developments growing in line with the market, but also progress in sort of the big transformations for the group and the investments for the future. But if we go back a little bit to sort of the retail sales development and the development for the different concepts, and if we start with the consumer, sort of how would you characterize sort of the consumer state right now? What does the consumer sentiment look like, and what kind of shopping behaviors do we see in our stores?
We are happy to see that the inflation is now on a much lower level, more normal level than we have had the last few years. And in that we can see a little bit more hope in our customers. Although we don't see any changes in the customer behavior, it's still a very high focus on price value. And we see both in all our chains that the price value is extremely important still for our customers.
And then if we go through each of the respective segments, and we can start with Willys, but also talk about Hemköp and Snabbgross. Do you have any short summaries of each respective performance?
Yes. To start with Willys had a growth in line and a little bit higher even than the market growth, so still taking a great position, even though they have comparison figures from last year that they totally outgrew the market. We can also see a big volume development in Willys, and also we attract much more customers into Willys. We can also see a good and positive trend in the brand value, and more customers who like the brand, which is really positive for Willys. Though we can also see a little bit softer and a weaker result in the profitability in Willys, and that is due to that we have made investments for long term in the price to even secure and strengthen the price position for Willys. Willys is Sweden's cheapest bag of groceries, is the customer promise, and that is why we also have invested in strengthening that price position, and that you can see in the result for this quarter. And we go to Hemköp. Hemköp is growing in a 4.5% like-for-like growth, which is much stronger than total growth. And the reason for that is that we lost 3 stores this year, in the beginning of this year, and that explains the difference from the total growth to the like-for-like growth. So in Hemköp we also have a really good and strong development, both in sales but also in volume and brand loyalty, and also that is reflected in a positive development in the profitability for Hemköp. And last but not least is Snabbgross, who's also having working in a market that is pretty soft in restaurants and cafes, but they navigate really well in that market and gaining market share. So they have a good positive development and also have a lot of new customers coming in. And also in Snabbgross Club, we have established one more new store where we have an offer straight to customers that also increasing a lot both in sales but also in new customers.
So solid development in Willys, strong performance in Hemköp and Snabbgross. So solid development in basically all the retail concepts during the quarter. But negative profit development in Willys from the sort of price investments that you've seen.
Yeah.
These price investments, I mean, can you really see that they are paying off? I guess obviously you talked about increased volumes, good solid brand loyalty to Willys. I mean, I guess that's evidence of really price investments paying off for Willys.
Yes, and also one more thing is that we also in the brand service we see that the preference is growing even more in Willys, which means that there are actually more customers who want to go and shop in Willys stores than we actually have our market share, which is quite unique for the market all in all. And then, as you said, we're also taking big steps in our future investments. As I told you, in Dagab we have finished the ramp up, and we're now optimizing the flows, which will give efficiencies and makes us more comfortable in the coming. But also in Dagab we have some more cost related to the transformations we're doing at the moment. But this will really strengthen our competition in the long run. So
sort of good progress in the transformation to the new logistics structure. We're not done yet. We're still piloting e-commerce out there in Bålsta, and we have a few more steps to go there. So, but good progress, and obviously, as you say, ramped up with store logistics out there in Bålsta. So
that's a good summary. It's
very positive. And then, of course, we have a major acquisition coming up as we are becoming the new owner to City Gross on November 1st. So what are the next steps with City Gross? Could you share that? Yeah, we're very happy that the Swedish Authority of Competition now has given the okay for our acquisition. So we look forward to welcome all the City Gross employees into the Axfood family. But also to start the journey, as you said, to strengthen the brand and strengthen the concept, and also implement an efficient operative model in the operations in City Gross, so we can actually start the journey to make City Gross competitive on the hypermarket segment. Okay. So I think, thank you for that, Simone. I think that's, that wraps up my questions. But I mean, before we end, of course, I need to ask you, how does it feel to be here summarizing your first quarter as president and CEO of Axfood? And I mean, how was the first time in your role been? It has been wonderful. I spent a lot of time out in the organization to get to learn the organization in my new perspective. Since I've been in Axfood for 8 years, I want to relearn, and it's wonderful to meet all the employees and also the strong leadership we have, and see the strong values we have and all the competence. So I'm really sure that we have what it takes to write the next chapter in our journey to become even more competitive and to continue to grow in market share. Good to hear. Thank you so much, Simone. Thank you very much.